The clock ticked steadily in the dimly lit room. Shadows danced across the walls of Heather's suburban home as she sank deeper into the couch, the glow of the television casting flickering lights around her. The late-night show droned on, but her mind wandered. Alone in the house, she felt the weight of silence press down on her. Just as she leaned forward, the screen flashed a momentary image that sent a chill racing down her spine. In the corner of the TV, a dark figure loomed outside her window. She froze. The figure was tall, its form obscured, but unmistakably human. Heart racing, Heather glanced over her shoulder. The window was behind her, and she felt an instinctual urge to turn. She fought it. Instead, she focused on the television, willing the image to disappear, but it lingered there, a grim reminder. She took a deep breath. The figure wasn't moving, just standing there. After a few moments, curiosity gnawed at her. What if it was just her imagination? What if it was someone lost, or worse, a prankster? She stood up, her legs shaky, and made her way to the window. Each step felt heavy. When she reached it, she peered outside, heart pounding in her chest. The streetlight cast an eerie glow, illuminating the sidewalk. And there he was. The man stood still, gazing directly at her. His face was a twisted mockery of human features. The eyes seemed sunken, wide and staring, as if they were black holes sucking in the light around them. A crooked grin stretched across his face, revealing teeth that were too sharp, too many. They locked eyes for what felt like an eternity. She could feel the weight of his stare, cold and paralyzing. The world around her faded, leaving only that moment. Then her phone buzzed violently on the table behind her. It shook her from the trance. She nearly jumped out of her skin, heart racing as she turned away. "Hello?" she answered, trying to steady her voice. It was her friend Sarah, the voice bright and casual. "Hey, you still watching that horror movie? You're not scared, are you?" Heather forced a laugh. "No, not at all. Just some weird guy staring out my window." "Seriously? You should call the cops." Sarah's tone shifted, concern creeping in. Heather glanced back at the window. The man was gone. She felt a rush of relief mixed with confusion. "I think he left," she said, trying to reassure herself. "I'll be fine. Just lock the doors, okay? I'll call you back in a bit." "Yeah, sure." She hung up, the warmth of her friend's voice lingering. Yet as she turned to the window again, the relief evaporated. The man stood there once more, closer now, his face illuminated by the streetlight. The twisted grin widened, and she could see that his mouth was moving, whispering something she couldn't hear. Panic clawed at her throat. He wasn't just watching, he was trying to communicate. "Get away," she screamed, hands pressed against the glass. But he remained rooted to the spot, the words still forming on his lips. Suddenly, the lights in her house flickered. The TV screen went black. She stumbled back, heart pounding in her ears. The silence was deafening. In the dark, her mind raced. Was this a prank? Was he just messing with her? She felt trapped, cornered in her own home. She grabbed a flashlight from the table and flicked it on, the beam cutting through the darkness. When she aimed it outside, the man was gone again. She scanned the area, searching for any sign of him, but nothing stirred. Just the empty street, the stillness wrapping around her like a suffocating blanket. Then just as she began to feel a flicker of safety, it was a rhythmic, deliberate sound. Her heart sank. She stood frozen, the flashlight shaking in her hand. The knocking grew louder, insistent. "Leave me alone," she yelled out, voice trembling. No answer, just the relentless knocking. With shaking legs, she approached the door. She peeked through the peephole, her breath hitching. Nothing, just darkness. He could be anywhere. She turned back to the window, heart racing. And there he was, right in front of her, pressing his distorted face against the glass. His breath fogged the surface, eyes wide and unblinking. She stumbled back, the flashlight slipping from her grasp. The beam flickered and died. In the pitch black, she felt the walls closing in. The knocking grew louder. It was no longer just at the back door. It echoed from every corner of the house, each sound a reminder that she was not alone. A whisper brushed against her ear, chilling her to the bone. Her mind shattered. She bolted for the front door, but it wouldn't budge. It was locked. She turned frantic, searching for a place to hide. The whispers grew louder, a cacophony of madness. Heather pressed her hands to her ears, but the sound seeped in. The man's face loomed larger in her mind, a grotesque reflection of her own despair. When she finally mustered the courage to look back, she found herself staring into a mirror. The man was gone, but in his place stood her own face, twisted and distorted, with those same wide, hollow eyes staring back at her. As the last sliver of sanity slipped away, she realized the horror wasn't in the man outside. It was the darkness within herself, the madness that had always lurked just below the surface.